Annyeonghaseyo from South Korea. Today we will attempt to correct the spectacular fail of the previous day by visiting Namsan Tower again. And also because we had already paid for non-refundable tickets via Klook. But first we get some errands out of the way. Poison, toothpaste, liquor, and go in search of sewing machines. Nah, we're here at Gwangjang Market to check out the food scene. Gwangjang Market just happens to have a whole clothing and textile section on one side of it, and it took us some time to locate the food section. Our first impressions of this market? Very clean. No trash, no sewage smells, and being somewhat early in the day with smaller crowds was very pleasant to walk about. Fish cakes.
5개는 얼마예요?
I think this is dried persimmon. Eventually, the textile shops gave way to food shops, and they all looked good.
This is all the banchan. Look at the snow. I must admit, I had actually wanted to check out the kalguksu lady that was featured on Netflix, but it looks like this wasn't our day. Good thing is, I had a plan B in mind. No, this wasn't plan B, but this is one of the few sweet things that I would recommend getting. Walnut-shaped cake balls full of custardy goodness. Solitary duck. 네, 감사합니다. Our plan B was Dakhan Mali, a kind of chicken hot pot, and an area of such restaurants was located 2 blocks away and happens to also share the same space as the grilled fish alley. And if you're squirmish about the following scene, you probably want to look away for the next 30 seconds right about now. With just a few simple ingredients of chicken, leeks, potatoes, chili paste, garlic, salt, and of course kimchi, it was one of our favorite meals in Seoul. The taste profile of the kimchi mixed and cooked together with the broth itself was uniquely different from a kimchi jjigae. And like all good broth dishes, it called for rice or noodles towards the end of the meal. American ribs, American belly. Having learned a very important lesson the day before about visiting touristy locations, this time we took a 15-minute taxi straight up to the Namsan Cable Car base station. And here's a tip. Though you can create an account on the Kakao Taxi app as a foreigner, only the black and general taxis will be available for you to use, since this can be paid for in cash and do not require you to register a credit card and a Korean phone number. However, when you get in a taxi, you should be able to pay either in cash, credit card, or even with your T-Money card. And now we sit back and enjoy the view as best as we can, because if you remember, Koreans don't run their air conditioning in the cool months unless they have to. Happily, the queue for the cable car tickets was short this time around, and the queue waiting upstairs for the cable car was also pretty reasonable. So while waiting our turn, we took in the view from the station's balcony space. The cable car ride itself is about 10 to 15 minutes each way. Of course, if you prefer hiking up the mountain to Namsan Tower, that will take you between 30 and 40 minutes each way, and it's absolutely free. In fact, that's one activity we would like to do the next time we return to Seoul. As we ascended the mountain on the one cable car going up, I wondered whether the long queues from yesterday were partly because they only had 2 cable cars operating at any one time. Ah well, that's what life's about sometimes. Waiting.
Exit right side. 오른쪽으로 내릴게요. Exit right side. Watch your step. Watch your head.
I think this is like the big part of a bigger trail. Up at the summit, besides Namsan Tower, for which there is a separate admission ticket to its observatory deck at the top, you can check out the deck with the love locks if that's your kind of thing, or check out the Namsan Beacon Mount, a reconstruction of an ancient Joseon system of communication using smoke and torchlights. There are daily reenactments of how the beacon lighting would have been done back in the Joseon dynasty, which is accompanied by a patrol and ceremony of the guards. So definitely time your arrival for this. Yeah, like a sword play maybe? Finally, don't forget to enjoy the view and engage in some people watching. One more queue later, we were finally at the observatory deck of Namsan Tower. And since the queue going down would take another 30 minutes, we decided to occupy ourselves appropriately. Whilst walking from the cable car base station to Myeongdong, we stumbled along this street full of colorful cartoons. It's difficult not to fall in love with Seoul. Everything is clean, there are no open drains, no gutters and pipes dripping water from above, pavements are wide and flat. I mean, murals add a nice touch to any city, but if civic cleanliness is not the norm for a society, beautiful artwork can only do so much. Yeah, he's looking at you, Malaysia. That's a word I recognize, including that word. I wonder what they're selling.
Korean food.
Are you serious? Korean food? Nasi lemak ayam goreng, tom yum, paprik ayam, nasi goreng, recipe kampungku, no rats. Yeah, it does. Well, it actually looks like KFC. At this point, we've wandered into Myeongdong. Every evening into late night, you will see food stalls operating here. Ever since watching the Korean drama Startup, I wanted to try a corn dog in Korea itself. We came across this booth right here. Admittedly, I didn't enjoy this corn dog very much. The dough on the outside was pretty thick, and I wasn't sure whether it was supposed to be that way. Chip said he will take me to the USA fairs where corn dogs originally came from. In hindsight, we should have stayed at the Myeongdong night market to sample some of the food, particularly the beef steak and the lobster tails. But we ended up here because I erroneously thought they served seolongtang, but they actually served Naju Gomtang, which was not the same thing. As you can see, the soup was clearer and its flavors were more subtle. In comparison, we much preferred seolongtang. Okay, I was also kinda disappointed that there wasn't much meat with the basic serving. You can have one piece of this. Okay, this one's a few pieces here. That saying, I kinda enjoyed this side dish, which I found out afterwards was seasoned dried shredded pollock. It was oddly crunchy that you can even hear me chewing on it. We didn't stick around too long cause, you know, Koreans don't run their air conditioning during these cool months.
I think it's just my imagination.
Yeah, I think you're fine. Okay, wait.